Hello, my name is Pete Melrose, an independent information technology consultant to healthcare providers, and I appreciate your time and interest in this presentation of particular interest to professional and organizational healthcare providers entitled Handoff Communications. Isn't there an app for that? Using 10 slides and 10 minutes of your time, I will follow this agenda. First, to summarize handoff communications as a principal source of medical mistakes, often leading to patient adverse events. Second, to summarize the traditional medical mistake mitigation method. Third, to describe the Cloud Healthcare Appliance Real-Time Solution as a Service, or CHARTSaaS, information technology, or IT toolkit for healthcare providers to create IT applications, also known as apps, for medical mistake mitigation with minimal cost and IT complexity. And fourth, to describe how to create and operate an IT app for handoff communication mistake mitigation. Quoting from an article in the September 2015 edition of Minority Nurse, quote, "Communication breakdown is the leading cause of medical errors such as gaps in healthcare, incomplete or missing information, and medication errors. So handoff reporting during shift change is a critical process that is crucial in protecting a patient's safety. Throughout the handoff report, it is vital to provide accurate, up-to-date, and pertinent information to the oncoming nurse. Not only are nurses transferring responsibility, but they also are shepherding and ensuring a safe passage for their patients." End quote. However, because of the complexity, confusion, and cacophony of the typical nursing station and healthcare delivery venues generally, as depicted in the photos, which lead to the root cause of medical mistakes, cognitive overload, the likelihood of a complete, accurate, and timely exchange of patient-specific clinical care information for each of the typically 25 or more patients on a current nursing unit census is low. Ironically, as denoted by the red box in the lower right photo, authoritative and current information is available via the computer terminal to the installed electronic health record or EHR system. But because the format and inquiry procedure typically are too cumbersome to be feasible during the thrice daily nursing staff shift change, nurses opt for oral communication based on incidental handwritten notes based on recall. Therefore, continuity of care is not assured and patient lives remain at risk. Since handoff communication errors are the leading cause of medical mistakes, they must be mitigated in order to reduce the resulting instances of patient morbidity and mortality. This slide depicts a fatal handoff communication sentinel event using the swim lane flowchart paradigm with 5 rows to depict the activity of the 5 actors: the patient, the healthcare physician provider, nursing staff on the postoperative orthopedic nursing unit 1, nursing staff on the receiving cardiac nursing unit 2, and the electronic health record IT system. Also included are 7 columns to depict the 5 events occurring between the beginning and end of the process flow. This fatal sentinel event, as reported to the Joint Commission per its accreditation requirements, and published in the April 2015 issue of TJC's publication named The Source, was described as follows, quote, "A healthcare system submitted a root cause analysis, or RCA, to the Joint Commission for a sentinel event that involved a patient whose blood levels were not drawn frequently enough to monitor the thinness of her blood while receiving a continuous heparin infusion. The patient had been started on heparin infusion on an orthopedic unit and then was later transferred to a cardiac unit. The order set for the heparin infusion was not entered properly, leaving out automatic order for blood tests every 6 hours. During the handoff report, the nurses did not discuss when the next blood test would occur to monitor the heparin infusion. For 24 hours, the patient went without blood tests until an oncoming nurse questioned the situation during the handoff report. At this time, the outgoing nurse also reported that the patient had been complaining of a headache for several hours. The computerized tomography, or CT scan, showed intracerebral hemorrhage. When the patient's mental status deteriorated, the family chose not to proceed with surgery due to the patient's multiple comorbidities and recent decrease in quality of life. She expired 3 days later, end quote. The handoff communications use case is so problematic and so contributory to the occurrence of so many medical mistakes that it has been addressed by the Joint Commission, which is the USA accrediting agency for healthcare provider organizations, and the Commission's Center for Transforming Healthcare, with a handoff communication specific version of the Commission's Targeted Solution Tool, or TST. TSTs, in turn, are based on the Commission's registered trademark Robust Process Improvement, or RPI, tools and methods. Per this quote from the Commission's website, quote, "The Center and its participating organizations use RPI methods and tools to improve the quality and safety of healthcare. These include Lean and Six Sigma, change management process, and other change management methodologies and tools for high reliability," end quote. Johns Hopkins Medicine's Armstrong Institute for Patient Safety and Quality also relies on efficiency and human factor improvement methods in the development of its Comprehensive Unit-Based Safety Program, or CUSP. However, these tools and methods, the deliverables of which include detailed documents and intensive training for targeted process participants, create cognition challenges of their own and thereby serve to exacerbate the root cause of medical mistakes, cognitive overload. The Cloud Healthcare Appliance Real-Time Solution as a Service, or CHARTSaaS, is a cloud-based IT toolkit accessible by subscription and designed for healthcare provider subject matter experts with no IT skills to create and operate IT applications, now referred to as apps. This slide depicts the CHARTSaaS secure and subscriber-specific logon screen, accessible anytime and anywhere that internet connectivity is available, and via which any one of the authorized healthcare provider subscribers, staff, users can gain access to the CHARTSaaS software desktop display. This display of icons and brief descriptions for each of the 12 CHARTSaaS features, which follows the Microsoft Windows desktop paradigm, whereby all the features represented by the icons are directly available and in no particular order, include analytics, automation, case files, collaboration, events and things, information, interoperability, mobility, modeling, optimizing, monitoring, and decision-making. The remainder of this presentation describes the components and capabilities of a CHARTSaaS RA compliant solution currently in development and partially functional, and how it can be used by healthcare provider subject matter experts to create a handoff communications app with minimal IT support. An IT solution compliant with the CHARTSaaS reference architecture can automate processes that include real-time IT, staff, and system interaction in a customized and rules-based choreography as depicted in this schematic. Provider facilities and human resource icons are depicted above the flowchart, and IT system or application resources below the flowchart, and their real-time interaction is depicted in the rules-driven process flowchart. The digital and cloud-based characteristics of CHARTSaaS artifacts, depicting knowledge as information structure in a functional context as an automated process, will facilitate their sharing by the CHARTSaaS subscribers that created them, and thereby the improvement of medical practice and healthcare delivery globally. This slide shows static representations of the 3 handoff communications app screens designed for sign-on, for automatic display of the current patient roster on the unit where the logged-in app user is assigned, and for the data for the user-selected patient, organized according to the situation, background, assessment, and recommendations, or SBAR heuristic. Data pertinent to the monitoring of potential type 1 heparin-induced thrombocytopenia, or type 1 HIT, the values of which are approaching lethal limits and/or require urgent action, are displayed in red. CHARTSaaS enables healthcare provider subject matter experts to create customized, cost-effective, and potentially life-saving apps such as the handoff communications app with minimal operating expense, no capital cost, and minimal IT complexity, and with little or no impact on the provider's IT system and staff resources because of its cloud-based and subscription nature. This slide employs the swim lane flowchart paradigm previously used to depict the Sentinel event previously described, as it might have occurred with a CHARTSaaS-built handoff communications app in operation. The app is depicted in the lowest row of the flowchart, boxed in green. The app operates continuously and is designed to monitor the occurrence and content of updates to the EHR/HIS patient record, and then to report problematic events. In this case, the app would infer that the required blood viscosity or clotting test had not been performed within the required clock time interval from the previous test because the app could not detect the occurrence of an update to the patient's EHR case record test results data field. Therefore, the app would notify the clinical staff member or members via his, her, or their assigned stationary or mobile digital devices of the emergent need to perform the ordered test and to read the result. The app might also read the result automatically based on event evaluation parameter values designated in the app process design. Thus, the medical error of omission would have been avoided and the patient's life saved. This concludes my presentation of the handoff communications use case and its inherent medical mistake potential for debilitating or fatal patient adverse events, and also the recommended information technology or IT medical mistake mitigation solution, an app created by a healthcare provider subject matter expert without IT skills using a cloud-based integrated development environment or IT toolkit called the Cloud Healthcare Appliance Real-Time Solution as a Service, or CHARTSaaS. I have discussed more than 50 other use cases and how you can address them to transform medical practice and healthcare delivery in posts to the blog at www.chartsaas.com. Please contact me, Pete Melrose, via email at jpetermelrose@gmail.com or phone at 001 US 612-201-2301 for further information and to learn how you can participate in realizing a production version of CHARTSaaS. Thanks for your time and attention. I look forward eagerly to speaking with you, and good wishes for another great day.